I think it's not enough for people to start or keep repeating the same things over and over and to hope that the results are going to be different. It's not going to be like that. We need to do something completely different this time. And I think the only way at this particular point in time is for people to be fully engaged with the electoral process in Cameroon and to follow that through all the way until they get a result, the result that's for the people themselves. We have tried several different things. They haven't worked. We keep looking back and we keep talking about history. There is going to be time for us to look back and maybe analyze what has gone wrong. But at the moment, the time for us to really embrace the process and make sure that we carry through the change that everyone really is crying out for is now. We can go through all the different institutions and the different arms of government that needs to change and the way that need to change. But I don't think that would help anyone at this point. We really need some kind of overhaul right at the top. I listened to some of the speeches of the clergy, very high-level clergy, the archbishops speaking. It doesn't, they don't do this easily. It takes quite a lot of thought that have gone into that process. And when they really start speaking out like that, it's something that really the state needs to listen, the government needs to listen to on this. So I think people need to do their own bit within the space that's available to them. There is very little space for them to engage with the democratic process. And what is available to them is simple: to register to vote, make sure that their vote actually counts, and to defend that vote itself all the way through until they get a result of some sort.
You have written a book titled Silence of the Crown, and you're looking at the reign and assassination of Fon of Esu II, Dr Chiy of Esu. There must be something that prompted you to write about this traditional authority. Tell us about what is in that book that you want people to go for it.
Yes, indeed. I think you're absolutely right. The Silence of the Crown is a tribute that I've written for Fon of Esu II of Esu. He was a leader with unwavering dedication to his people. He uplifted his entire community from where they came from. And his brutal assassination left a wound that still aches for justice, unity, and for preservation of his own enduring legacy. So if there is one thing only that the whole country can learn from this, is that it's bottoms up, is the connection with the people. When you don't have the people, you don't have the power. So it starts from there. Every single soul in Esu is bereaved. Every single soul in Esu feels the void, the absence. I feel it. And all Esuans, they will tell you exactly the same thing. There are not many leaders like that in Cameroon where there is a direct connection with them, irrespective of who you are or where you come from. This includes Esuans and others outside Esu as well. When you read the book, you will see what he has done, not just for Esu, but for Northwest Cameroon and even internationally, as well, the awards that he has received from all kinds of organizations. That comes with true leadership. That comes with honest leadership. That comes with faith-based leadership as well, because he was very, very dedicated to his religion as well.
What are you communicating through this title, Silence of the Crown?
It's what? March would be 2 years ever since he was assassinated. Esu does not still have a crown. Yeah, doesn't still have a font as we speak. Okay. Nothing is happening in the village at the moment because this is the bastion of really everything that happens in a society like that, not just for Esu, but many other villages. The chief is central authority within that. Even the development organizations, they rely on the Fon. So for this not to be happening in Cameroon, nothing happening, is something that every elite, every individual should be concerned about and engage in the process to make sure this changes. And I've spoken to a lot of people in Esu and across Cameroon in relation to this. People are still seeking some form of justice, some form of explanation on who killed their Fon, who assassinated their Fon. They've had promises from the senior divisional officer that they were going to find who killed their Fon. They haven't received that answer. And so they cannot have closure. They cannot have an end in sight. I've also included in the book some individuals that were arrested. There were some that were accused, and a whole lot of witnesses that were taken up to the military tribunal in Bamenda. This was a long time ago, and since then we don't know what has happened so far. The people of Esu, they were not engaged in that process itself. These are the victims, the true victims. Because it wasn't just Komatsu Kauzu, he is the Fon. So he's an institution itself. So the people are entitled to be part of this process. And it's only through this that they can have some kind of closure on this. So number one is for them to be told what is happening with this. Number two, for them to be engaged in whatever process the government or the courts are involved in, so that they themselves, they can have either closure or to feel that justice has actually been done to this. That is the difficulty. At the moment, from what I know, the authorities are silent about this. Nothing is happening in the village. And I've also put the Kingmakers there to task. There is a process, which I've written another book as well, which ought to be followed. That process, followed properly, would help to resolve some of the issues that are plaguing the village now.
So in a nutshell, there are two things. A cry for justice and a cry for the solution to the stalemate in the village.
Yes, the justice first, and justice comes in various forms. It's not just for things, the matter to be concluded itself. It's for people to feel that they've got an answer to who assassinated their Fon. This is a lot more, I don't want to say straightforward as it sounds. The Fon was not traveling alone. The Fon and the Queen, they were assassinated. There was a whole lot of people. There were two vehicles. I've narrated the story, the version of the witnesses that were there with the chief. But there are some key witnesses that we've not heard from. And it's important that the authorities, they establish from their own testimonies what actually happened there. I mean, he had a driver. There were people in the back of the car. There was another car coming. So all of these things, it should not be as complicated as we're making it out to sound. If it is complicated, then there needs to be a proper explanation on why it is.